Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, what's going on, mate? Let's drink some coffee. No, wait, I can't do that. Take this off. I'm actually using a microphone. I don't have the stand, but I'm using the microphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me really well? Nah. Got the coffee menu. Got some toast as well, eh? Alright, this is good. I'm just gonna finish this one, okay? You wait right there. Aye. Now you can probably hear some noise in the background. That's just my washing machine. It's fine. It's friendly. Okay, don't worry about it. I really want to talk about something today because this is like the first day in a really long time. I felt like almost like a mental breakthrough. Okay, if you've seen my channel, right, you've seen it. If you've been following for years, I appreciate you. Okay, if you've been following for years, I appreciate you. Right, but as of about, I would say anywhere from March, April, Mayish, that sort of era, I was going all right with my YouTube, okay? And then, I don't want to blame it on this, right? I don't want to blame it on this, but I had an incident come up that was around June, July period, where I had a family member pass away. It was my grandfather, so it was my dad's dad, and he passed away. Now, that being as sad enough as it is, right? People, I know I'm not blaming it on that. People lose other people all the time, right? But the whole problem with that was it was in the midst of COVID, right? So that made it even worse. So not only were we struggling just to get there, my dad was struggling just to get, because they lived in Victoria, right? We're in Queensland. Not only did we struggle to get there, but it was, once we got there, they had a lockdown and we got stuck there. So I was going really good with my YouTube and I was planning to work while I was there. I was like, okay, I'll bring my camera gear, I'll bring my laptop, whatever. I'll bring my phone if I can film, whatever. So that happened, and because of the whole situation, because I was dealing with the family issues and because I was, doing all of that, it really didn't put me in the right mindset to work. So I thought, okay, I'll take some time off. I come back, and ever since then, as of like a few months ago, when I got back like 3 weeks after I got there in July. So it's been a little bit that I've been back, but I had to come back and quarantine and whatnot. And anyway, I was stuck inside for a long time. It threw off my rhythm. And since then, my rhythm's been quite off, up and down, posting different stuff, okay? And then I put out a video a couple of, I think it was about a week or two ago, where I was talking about, okay, I don't know if I want to post about ecom, which still, coffee. Still, I do want to post about ecom, but I want to do different stuff, right? So this is a video where I want to talk about my, mental breakthrough and really my advice to you coming out of a rut. Because today is the first time in a long while where I felt like, okay, it's not like I've got a clear sense of direction, because I think for everyone it's always going to be hard to have laser focus, clear direction all the time. But really, it's the first time in a while where I've thought of things in a different light. And funnily enough, the thing that got me there was me looking at myself in the past. Like, I was watching my old YouTube videos and I was looking at the way I was thinking about things, and I thought, I need to be like that dude. Like, I need to be like him, okay? I need to be like that guy. Like, this guy knows what's up. And it was so funny to watch myself back then. And I thought, why? Like, where did this mindset go? Like, it's not like I'm in a negative mindset, but I've been more negative than what I usually would have. And I'm thinking, why is that? So I looked at what I was talking about. I studied myself from back then, funnily enough. Like, I don't like looking back at the past too much, right? But I looked at myself from the past. Cheers, past Jack. You're really looking out. Anyway, I looked at myself from the past, and I was in the mindset of basically like, you are in control of how you react to things. You're in control of that. And I really sat down and I thought to myself, like, why am I, like, it's almost like, and I rarely do this, right? It might have been a compound of everything that was happening. It might have been that. It might have been me sort of changing direction, what I want to do with the channel. Things like staying inside too long and really affecting my mindset. It could be a number of things. I went through a bout of anxiety as well, so I had problems with that. That's when I did my caffeine video, when I was like off caffeine, because I had like a thing, like a bout of anxiety that came through, and obviously the things with the loss of family didn't help and whatnot. Being stuck inside due to this COVID shit didn't help. But I was in that mindset back then where I can actually change. There's parts that I can control. And the main thing I can control is how I react to what's happening around me. If I can't control something, don't worry about the things I can't control. Worry about the things that you can control. And I really sat down and I watched quite a number of my old videos, and mostly the mindset ones. And I thought, okay, why don't I stick to that? Why did that change? Why don't I adapt to back then? So the main thing that I did, and this is how I would suggest you get out of a mental rut or get out of like a negative mindset. If you've been in a negative mindset for a while and it's caused you to become lost, it's caused you to really not know what direction you want to go into, because mentality is everything. And I was thinking about this, just before filming this video, right? The main thing is that you can control how you react to it. And the thing I did was I wrote down a massive list. I'm obviously not going to show it because it's like a personal list, right? But I wrote down what I was grateful for the life that I live. And I wrote down, my family I was grateful for. I wrote down my partner who I was grateful for. And just everything that I was grateful for. My work, the ability to be able to change, the ability to be able to work out and do things. And this sounds like pretty self-explanatory stuff, right? But a lot of people forget about it. A lot of people forget that this is how simple it can be, right? So I wrote that down and I really took myself out of my own head, because I was in my own head. That's all it was. I was in my own head and I was really thinking about, where I wanted to be. And I was trying to picture, okay, why am I in this state? Why am I this? Why am I that? It's almost like a victim mindset. And I don't do that very often, right? So I really caught myself out on it. And I thought to myself, what, why am I doing this, right? It could, like I said, it could be a compound of a number of things, but I was just thinking, what is this?
I was wearing one of these. I was wearing a mask, and I'm like, life's so bad. Life's so bad. Life is so bad.
Barry, instead of thinking the victim mindset, I thought to myself, okay, why? I'm not even in the frame. I hope you can see me properly. Yeah. Instead of being in this victim mindset, I was like, why don't I take myself out of my own head and really look at what's actually happening, right? Yeah, I might be in a bit of a, a mental rut, right? Because it's either loss of direction or whatever, saying the same thing over and over again. Maybe a compound of things, right? But it doesn't have to be like that forever, right? It doesn't always have to be like that forever. So I took myself out of my own head and I thought, what's actually happening? When I was filming those videos that I was watching, I was still living at home with my parents and I was loving it. I didn't have my own place where I wanted to be, because back then I really wanted to have my own place, right? I wanted my business to do better than what it was doing at that point in time. And I wanted to have my own place. And I had the goals and ambitions there, but I wasn't at a point where I wanted to be. Now, I'm thinking to myself, well, you're at that point where you wanted to be 3 years ago, right? So why now are you in that mindset when back then you weren't? So I thought to myself, okay, what was that? Was it because I had goals? Was it because I had drives and ambitions? Was it because I wasn't putting as much pressure on myself? I wasn't beating myself down as much? What was that? So I thought back then what I was doing was I was controlling what I could. And I was really, instead of acting in the mindset or thinking the mindset of why can't things be this way or why are things this way when they used to be this way, I was thinking then, what am I doing right now? What am I doing right now to change to the way I want to be, right? Because for the past few months, I would say I was also in the mindset of, things are this way and that's okay. Back then, things are this way. No, they need to change. And then that's the realization I had last night as well. It's like, okay, I'm doing better than what I was when I was filming those videos in 2019. But I'm still not where I want to be. I need to change that, right? And even just thinking about that now, it's making my face light up. You can probably tell because I'm not where I want to be, right? It's like I'm better than what I was before, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for myself working hard. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to be able to do that. Back then, it's not like I didn't like living with my parents, but at that point in time, I was about 23 years old, and I wanted to move out, and I wanted to start proving to myself that I could do that. Come 2.5 years later, I'm doing that. I'm living in an apartment that I imagined in my head. Okay, my first apartment was a smaller one, had no windows, no fans, no air conditioning, and I was happy. I was happy as hell living there because I'm like, this is my first place alone. I bought my own fridge, or I halved the price of the fridge with my mum and dad, and then everything else I bought myself. All the furniture, all the rent, the bond, everything else I bought for myself. I moved my car down with my own money. Everything, right? And I was happy to do that. And then I was thinking to myself while I was in that apartment, okay, I want an apartment with natural lighting. I want an apartment up higher because I was on like ground level apartment then. I wanted an apartment that was up high with a view, and I wanted to be in the city. Back then I wasn't in the city. I wanted to be in the city. And everything that I imagined, or everything that I wanted to will into existence, I did that. A year later, I did that. So that was what I was going through in my head, and I'm here now, right? This is my second year. I mean, I've been in this apartment for a year and a half now, and I'm in Brisbane City, and I am loving it, right? So I'm really thinking to myself, what was the point? What's been the point of me being in this mental rut? So really, it's basically what I've been talking about. You got to look. It's really all about perspective, and I caught myself on it because I was looking at my old videos, and one of my older videos is literally titled, "It's All About Perspective." And that's all it was. So I wrote down that massive list, and I said to myself, okay, like, look at your life into perspective. Look at what you've done, and instead of beating yourself up about it, give yourself some leeway in order to grow, right? In order to grow. It's like, stop beating yourself up and thinking, well, since I want to change what I want to do, that means that I have no direction. It's like, no way, you do have direction. You do have direction. It's like, just because you want to change some things that you want to do in your life, in your business, whatever it might be, look at what you've accomplished so far. Like, I was basically talking to myself. Like, look at what you've accomplished so far, right? Look at where you were. I was living in a town that I, if you don't know where I used to live, I used to live in Mackay, which was far north Queensland town. Great if you're a coal miner or a farmer. Terrible if you don't like either of those things. Great if you love fishing and beer and drinking and whatever else. I don't know, going on a boat. Great if you love that lifestyle. Me, I don't like it. So I didn't fit in there. I grew up there. It was great to grow up in, but I felt like I was outgrowing that place. So I felt like I didn't fit in with, I guess, you could say those kinds of people, right? Nothing wrong with those kinds of people, I guess. But like, if you want to call it that. But I knew I wanted to, live in the city. So 2.5, 3 years ago, I was in that mindset, or even 4 years ago, right? I was working a retail job, and I thought, one day I'm going to own my own business. So I'm going to work towards owning my own online business, move out for myself, live in a bigger place, live in a city, right? Be able to fend for myself. 3-4 years later, I'm looking at myself in this perspective. Instead of being in my own head, I look back and think, you did it. You did that. Now you're growing even more, right? So really, I guess my advice for this, to wrap up this video, because this is almost like a story time. I'm using this video as story time, using this video as a video diary log for myself. I'm using it as a reminder. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like a spray that keeps going. Anyway, I'm using it as a video diary, a reminder to myself, a reminder to you guys, and really just a log of where I am at, right? Like, I've been in my head like these past few months. I want to say these past five or so months, right? 5-6 months. So I've got like indigestion from this coffee, and I need to finish this last piece of toast. Hang on, bear with me. Toast hits different when you have perspective. So if you were to get anything out of this video, just remind yourself of where you were to where you are now. maybe some of you guys might have been stagnant or gone a little bit backwards, taken a step or two backwards. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for most of you guys out there, right, you've taken, even if it's slight, you've taken steps forward. And you have to, like, whether that doesn't have to be financially, it doesn't have to be where you live. That can be mentally, that can be in your career, that can be in just the way you feel in general. You've taken steps forward, right? So instead of being in your own head, because I was sitting here being in my own head thinking, I've lost direction, I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. And then I caught myself out on it last night. I was like up at 2 a.m. And I'm thinking, why are you thinking this way? Why are you beating yourself up? Look at what you've done so far. Like, sometimes you got to just sit back and back yourself. You got to back yourself for what you've done, because you have to be proud of yourself. And I like holding myself accountable, and I think that's a strength and also a weakness, because sometimes I hold myself too accountable instead of giving myself some leeway. So I got to the point where I was watching my old self and I'm thinking, I am the same dude, but I'm more experienced. I have done what I seeked out to do, and now I'm going to set more goals, bigger goals, higher goals, right, for each aspect of my life. And I'm going to be even more proud of myself. I'm going to look back in another 3 or 4 years and think to myself, damn, like, you were in that mindset back then, Jack, but like, you didn't need to be, right? So I'm using this as a video log, and I think it's also almost like a mental breakthrough for me. But my advice to you, if you are in a mental rut, if you're stuck, you're not sure what direction you want to head in, or you think that you're stagnant, look back at how far you've come, right? And not only that, set yourself goals and really set yourself a pathway of where you want to get to. So, damn, this video has been, I might as well be like a talk show host, or I might as well be doing a keynote or something, because this thing's been going for 20 minutes. Holy. I have a lot to say when I'm passionate and when I have perspective, you know? Perspective. Anyway, I'm going to leave this one here, but please, like, I know a lot of you can relate to this. relate to this. So if you are stuck, please take a step back, look at yourself from an outsider's perspective, and look at what you've done, what you're currently doing, what can you change and what can't you change. Focus on the things that you can change. Okay? So please, if you get anything out of this, set yourself some goals, look at your life in perspective, okay? Look at your life in a sense of, look at all the opportunity you have, okay? Have you got friends and family? Have you got a partner? Be grateful for that, okay? Because there's a lot of people, like, I know this is like a really old cliche thing to say, but there's a lot of people that are worse off than you, right? There's a lot of people that don't have, especially living in Australia, right? We have a lot of opportunity here. So you're just thinking, like, you got to think to yourself, why are you being like this if you don't need to be, right? You're just doing yourself even more damage. But last thing I'll say before I head off is, I was listening to a Jordan Peterson lecture, and he said, life is suffering, right? Life is suffering, but it's the way that you deal with it to make it less sufferable, right? Everyone's got it bad in some sense, okay? There's only a few people that have it really, really good forever. But even then, right, there's always people that have got bad stuff going on. Everyone's got bad stuff going on. Life is basically, it's good. Life is awesome. But there's also, like, life is suffering, right? But you got to make it so you can give yourself the opportunity to make it less sufferable, okay? That might be a bit of a pessimistic way to look at it, but it's true. It's like, life is suffering, but make yourself a better person in order to make it less sufferable. Make it easier for yourself and those around you, okay? So I'm going to leave it at there, guys, but hope you enjoyed this one. I definitely enjoyed it. This has been a big eye-opener to me last night, and this is the first time in a long time, this is how I know that something's definitely different. The first time in a long time that I filmed the video this early. It's like, I say early, but it's about 11:30 in the morning, but I usually film mine later at night because that's when I guess, usually feel more comfortable. But yeah, this is a breakthrough mentally if I've ever seen one. So if you can learn anything from what I've been going through, if you learn anything or you can relate, please look at your own life in a more of a broader perspective and really be grateful for what you have around you, because more than likely you have a lot of good things that you don't notice because you're in your own head.
So I'm going to leave it there, guys. But I hope you guys are having a good day or night, wherever you're watching. And I really like doing these videos. I've got more Amazon videos on the way, more dropshipping stuff. I am not stopping that. I might post about other stuff, but that stuff's never going anywhere because I love e-commerce and I love what I do. I love what I do. Like, I love being able to just sitting here, right? Being able to go and, being able to sit down at my desk. I don't have to get up and go to a 9 to 5, right? Nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, by the way. But get up and I can do what I want to do because I've allowed myself to do that. I've built up a structure in my life to be able to do that. And I've got to be thankful for that. Like, I have to be so thankful. I'm in such a lucky position. I've worked hard for it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm so thankful for that. So please be grateful and really look at your life in a different perspective. It's all about perspective, okay? That's what I want to nail home today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night wherever you're watching. I'll see you in the next one.